What is up, Skol Nation? Lucas here, and I am absolutely vibrating with nervous energy right now. This Vikings offseason has been a pure, unadulterated roller coaster, and honestly, I think the front office is trying to play us a little bit. We're hearing these reports about a true competition at quarterback, but something feels different this time. We've got Kyler Murray in the building and JJ Yeh, McCarthy waiting in the wings. Is this really a battle, or is the script already written? Stay with me, because this news might change everything you thought about our future. Before we dive into this madness, I need to ask you for a massive favor. We are building something special here, a real community of diehard Vikes fans who live and breathe this team. We are pushing hard for 3,000 subscribers, and honestly, we can't get there without your support. If you love this team through the highs and the lows, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's show the league how loud the Skol Nation can really be. Now, let's talk about this competition the media keeps shoving down our throats. The Vikings have been very insistent on telling the world, through all those big-name NFL insiders, that they're going to have a true competition between JJ McCarthy and Kyler Murray for that starting job. But man, I'm not going to lie to you, it feels a bit hollow. It's a dubious claim when you actually take a second to look at the whole picture. We just signed Murray this offseason, a guy who's already a two-time Pro Bowler. He's not here to hold a clipboard, right? The reality is that the Vikings are likely going to name Kyler as the starter this fall. And that leaves our young gun, JJ McCarthy, in a tough spot. We took him with the 10th overall pick in 2024, and the thought of him just sitting there, enduring another season on the bench, is honestly hard to swallow. But think about Kyler for a second. This guy is a human highlight reel. He's got that dual threat energy that keeps defensive coordinators up at night. He's tech-savvy, fast, and when he's on, he's unstoppable. But he's also had his share of critics. People talk about his attitude or his height, but you can't deny the raw personality and talent he brings to the huddle. He's walking into the best group of weapons he has ever had in his entire career. We're talking about a guy who finally has the pieces to show why everyone was so obsessed with him back in his college days. This isn't just about football. It's about redemption for Kyler and a massive gamble for our franchise's future identity. I want to believe the competition is real, but my gut tells me this is Kyler's team now. And here's the thing that really gets me excited. Kevin O'Connell is an absolute wizard when it comes to maximizing veteran quarterbacks. We've seen him do it before, pulling incredible performances out of guys that others had already written off. But then you look at the supporting cast, and it's like something out of a video game. I mean, look at what we're working with here. You've got Justin Jefferson, the best in the business. You've got Jordan Addison, who is only getting better. Then you add a gritty, tough-as-nails guy like Joan Jennings to the mix. It's almost unfair. Now it gets interesting because Bart Scott over at ESPN is already setting the bar incredibly high. He's out here saying that by the end of this season, we might be calling Kyler Murray the most talented quarterback in the entire division. That is a bold statement, man. But let me explain why it actually makes sense. When you pair a guy with Kyler's arm talent and mobility with a play caller like O'Connell, the sky really is the limit. It's about more than just stats. It's about the energy of the offense. We've been waiting for a dynamic spark, and Kyler might be the lightning bolt we need. But you have to wonder, what does this do to the locker room? If JJ sees Kyler lighting it up, does he stay patient, or does he start looking at the exit? It's a delicate balance of ego and talent. The coaching staff has to be perfect here. Louis Riddick even said that if they signed Kyler, the competition was basically over before it started. Not because they gave up on JJ, but because Kyler is just that good. O'Connell has studied the tape, and he knows Kyler's skill set fits his vision perfectly. Some doubters say it won't work, but KOC is betting his reputation on the fact that it will. This could absolutely supercharge our entire season and turn the NFC North upside down. It feels like we're standing on the edge of something massive, a cinematic shift in how the Vikings play football. We are moving away from the safe options and swinging for the fences with a guy who can create something out of absolutely nothing. But we can't talk about Kyler without looking at the monsters in our own backyard. The NFC North is a complete gauntlet right now, and the competition for most talented is fierce. You've got Caleb Williams in Chicago, who looked like a generational freak of nature last year. Then there's Jared Goff in Detroit, who just keeps churning out top 5 offenses like it's nothing. And don't even get me started on Jordan Love. That guy has basically proven the Packers right every single week, leading them to the playoffs and throwing touchdowns like he's playing catch in the backyard. So, when Bart Scott says Kyler could be the best of that bunch, he's inviting a lot of heat. But look at the numbers, guys. Murray isn't some scrub we picked up off the street. Injuries have slowed him down lately, sure, but the dude is a Heisman winner and a first overall pick for a reason. His career completion percentage is over 67%. That's actually better than Goff, Love, or Williams. And he's done that with way less talent around him than what he has right now in Minnesota. His ability to scramble and extend plays is probably second only to Lamar Jackson. He takes care of the ball too, with twice as many touchdowns as interceptions. When you realize that, the most talented argument doesn't seem so crazy anymore, does it? The pressure is immense, though. If Kyler struggles, the fans are going to be screaming for JJ within 2 quarters. That's the risk of this insider narrative. We are telling the world we have a competition to keep the peace, but we are starting a veteran because we are in win-now mode. It's a high-stakes game of poker, and the Vikings are pushing all their chips into the middle of the table. As a fan, it's terrifying and exhilarating at the same time. We are either going to witness the greatest comeback story in Vikings history, or we are going to see a young franchise cornerstone get lost in the shuffle. The tension is real, the stakes are sky high, and the entire league is watching us. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a lot of different things right now. On one hand, I'm pumped to see Kyler throwing bombs to Jettis. On the other, my heart breaks a little for JJ McCarthy. Imagine being the 10th pick, the future of the franchise, and you're basically being told to wait another year while a veteran takes your reps. Man, that's tough. Look, I want Kyler to succeed because I want this team to win a Super Bowl, period. But what happens if he actually lives up to these massive expectations? If Kyler becomes the best QB in the North, he's going to want a long-term deal. He's going to want to be the man in Minnesota for the foreseeable future. And if that happens, where does that leave JJ? A trade starts to look inevitable after the 2026 season. It's a bittersweet reality of the NFL business. We might have found our guy, but it might not be the guy we drafted to be the savior. The rhythm of this season is going to be so intense. Every pass, every scramble, every touchdown is going to be analyzed through the lens of this competition. Louis Riddick says this is still the best situation in the league for any quarterback, young or old. And he's right. Between O'Connell and Josh McCown, we have the best teachers in the game. But at the end of the day, there's only one ball and only one starting spot. The urgency is palpable. We can't afford a slow start. We can't afford what-ifs. We need Kyler Murray to be the superstar Bart Scott thinks he is. We need him to supercharge this offense and lead us to the promised land. I'm leaning into the hope, but I've got that familiar Vikings knot in my stomach. This is the drama we live for, right? It's chaotic, it's emotional. And it's exactly why we love this team. We're in for a wild ride, Skol Nation. At the end of the day, all these rumors and insider reports point to one thing. The Minnesota Vikings are tired of being just okay. We are taking a massive swing with Kyler Murray, and whether it's a true competition or just a formality, the identity of this team is shifting. We have the weapons, we have the brilliant coaching, and now we have a quarterback with a chip on his shoulder the size of US Bank Stadium. The future of JJ McCarthy hangs in the balance, but for 2026, it's all about the here and now. I believe in this culture, and I believe O'Connell can make this work in a huge way. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me through this breakdown. Your support means the world to me, and we are so close to that 3,000 subscriber goal. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to join the family. I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you think Kyler is the best QB in the North? Or are we sleeping on JJ? Let's talk about it. Skol Nation.